Archangel Michael says, the ring you thought you'd never see again is returning with a message from the one who left. My dearest soul, have you ever lost something so precious that even years later, your heart still aches for it? Maybe it wasn't just an object, maybe it carried a memory, a promise, or the heartbeat of someone who's no longer here. Because today, Archangel Michael has a message, and it begins with the ring you thought was gone forever. He whispers that nothing sacred is ever truly lost. Not the ring, not the person, not the love that once burned in your soul. What was taken wasn't stolen by chance. It was hidden by heaven until the appointed time. And that time, my child, is now. Archangel Michael stands before the golden veil between realms, holding what looks like a circle of light, a radiant ring glowing like molten fire. But this isn't just any ring. It carries the vibration of your past connection, the echo of a promise made in tears, and the seal of divine return. He says the ring is returning, but not as it left. It comes with a message. A message from the one you believed had vanished from your story, the one who left without a word, yet whose soul never stopped searching for you in the eternal field of light. Let that sink in for a moment. What if what you lost wasn't lost at all, just waiting for your heart to awaken enough to receive its truth? You see, Archangel Michael doesn't move in the timing of humans. He moves in divine precision. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer, it all leads to this sacred convergence. The ring is not just a symbol. It is a portal of memory, a key that unlocks what heaven has kept sealed until you were strong enough to face the message it carries. And the message is not only about love, it's about destiny. Because when that ring returns, whether in dream, in vision, or in physical form, it will carry the vibration of unfinished purpose. It's not the end of something you lost. It's the continuation of something eternal. Picture this. You open a drawer one evening, or maybe you see it in a place you'd searched 1,000 times before. Your breath catches. Your body trembles. And in that moment, your spirit knows. This isn't coincidence. This is communication. Heaven's handwriting through a forgotten object. Archangel Michael reveals that the ring was never misplaced. It was guarded. Because the energy it holds was too sacred to be mishandled during your season of grief. Now that your spirit has matured, heaven returns it, but not just to comfort you. It returns it to awaken you. There's a frequency that's about to open in your life, one that connects your current timeline to a previous one, where promises were made and faith was tested. Archangel Michael says the ring carries a hidden inscription, not of words, but of energy. And when it touches your hand again, it will trigger memories you've long buried. But these memories will not break you. They will complete you. He says, the one who left has spoken through the realm of light. Their love has crossed dimensions to reach you. They cannot appear before you, but their message can. And that's why the ring must return, because it is the vessel of that message. A silent witness that bridges heaven and earth. A divine reminder that love never dies. It only changes form. The moment you hold it again, you'll feel warmth in your palm, like a pulse, like the echo of a heartbeat that isn't yours. That's the vibration of their message. They are saying, I never left. I was always right beside you, waiting for your light to rise again. Archangel Michael instructs you not to dismiss this as imagination. Because in the spiritual realm, heaven uses symbols that speak directly to the soul. The ring is not random. It's a prophecy fulfilled. One that marks the return of something once lost, but never forgotten. And here's the secret Archangel Michael whispered just before leaving. The ring's return will be followed by a divine encounter. Someone, guided by the same celestial current, will cross your path carrying the same energy as the one who left. Not a replacement, but a reflection, a continuation of a love that has matured through lifetimes. Your story, my beloved, is entering the chapter heaven has been waiting to reveal. Hold on, because the next revelation will shatter what you thought you knew about endings, loss, and destiny itself. He loved seeker of light. When Archangel Michael speaks of return, he does not speak of mere physical recovery. He speaks of divine timing, a moment when heaven aligns the seen and unseen to restore what carries eternal meaning. The ring you once wore with love and faith has not just been found, it is awakening. Its energy hums through the veil even now, reaching toward you like a thread of light seeking reunion with its origin. This is not coincidence. It is orchestration. There was a time when that ring represented safety, connection, or even identity. You may have felt that losing it was a punishment or a sign that your prayers had gone unheard. But Michael says otherwise. The ring was hidden so your heart could heal, because healing changes frequency. What once was bound by pain can now return as power. Every tear you shed since its disappearance became an offering, and heaven has collected them all, weaving them into a new destiny. Imagine this. Somewhere in the unseen, an angelic hand turns that ring over and over in light, whispering ancient codes into its metal. Every rotation charges it with memories you thought were gone. Every whisper restores the vibration of the one who left. The moment that object reappears, your reality will begin to shift. You will feel an unfamiliar calm, a sensation that the air around you is thickened with meaning. That's not your imagination. It's the resonance of divine convergence. Archangel Michael has shown that this ring carries more than memory. It carries an instruction. When you receive it again, you must not rush. Do not speak immediately. Hold it. Breathe. Feel its warmth. Then, in silence, listen. You will hear a thought that isn't your own, soft, clear, unmistakable. It may sound like your loved one. It may sound like an inner voice. But it is heaven's way of revealing what they could not say before they left. Michael says, the one who departed did not vanish into shadow. They entered the realm of light and learned what the living forget, that love is an unbroken circle, and death only changes the horizon. That ring is the horizon's crossing point. Through it, their message will come, not as words, but as peace that fills the spaces grief once hollowed. You will suddenly know things you never knew. You will remember dreams you once dismissed. You will see signs repeating, numbers, feathers, lights flickering, songs playing at impossible moments. These are confirmations that the veil has opened. And yet, Archangel Michael warns that this return will test your readiness. You cannot hold something sacred with hands still clenched in bitterness. If you want to receive fully, forgiveness must precede the moment. Forgive the one who left. Forgive heaven for the waiting. Forgive yourself for the disbelief. Because when the ring returns, it will magnify whatever lies in your heart. If that is pain, it will echo pain. But if that is surrender, it will echo miracle. Heaven is preparing a reunion not of people, but of timelines, the past that was paused, the present that feels uncertain, and the future that's about to unfold. You are standing in the doorway between them. And as Michael stretches his wings over you, he reminds you that this moment is a covenant being renewed. The ring is not just coming back. It's carrying evidence that heaven kept every promise, even the ones you thought were forgotten. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine him, the Archangel of protection, standing behind you, one hand on your shoulder, the other holding the luminous ring. His voice, steady as thunder yet tender as dawn, whispers, when it returns, lift it to the light. For what you will see reflected there is not the past, but the face of destiny looking back. And when that reflection appears, something in you will break, not in sorrow, but in sacred recognition. You will understand that what left your life was never punishment, but preparation. The message returning with the ring will carry truth, too vast for words, yet your soul will translate it instantly. It will say, "You were never alone." Every ending was only the turning of the circle. Wait for it, because in what unfolds next, Archangel Michael reveals what the message truly says, and why the one who left had to go before sending it back through the ring's return. My precious soul, there comes a moment when silence breaks and heaven begins to speak through what once was pain. That moment is now. Archangel Michael steps forward, his wings wide as horizons, his eyes burning with truth. He says the message carried by the ring is not merely a sign of return. It is a revelation. What you believed was loss was divine redirection. What you mourned as ending was God reshaping your destiny. The one who left did not vanish into nothingness. They crossed through light so that they could speak again, not with the voice of the earth, but with the resonance of eternity. The message they send through this sacred ring is one of unfinished purpose. Before they left, there were words they could not say, prayers they could not finish, love they could not express. Heaven preserved those words, sealed them inside this circle of energy, waiting for your soul to mature enough to hear them without breaking. That time has come. Archangel Michael says, "The one you love speaks now through the energy that returns to your hand." Their spirit has walked the gardens of light, and from that place, they release their truth. You must continue what they began. This continuation is not about holding on to grief. It is about becoming the vessel of fulfillment. Every promise they made, every dream that was cut short, every plan you thought would never be completed, heaven is now assigning them to you. When you touch that ring, the anointing of continuation flows through you. It is not coincidence that the ring is circular, for circles represent eternal motion. It has no start and no end, just as love has no boundary and no grave. You are being invited into that eternal motion, to carry that legacy not as burden, but as blessing. But Michael also warns that with revelation comes testing. As the ring reappears, your heart will remember everything. The warmth of their laughter, the weight of their absence, the questions that kept you awake in the dark. Do not run from these emotions. They are sacred doors. Each one opens to a deeper layer of understanding. When tears come, do not hold them back. They are cleansing water that readies your soul for what heaven will deposit next. And within those tears, a strange peace will begin to rise, like sunlight dissolving mist. That peace is their message settling inside you. Now listen carefully. The one who left speaks through the veil and says, "Do not think of me as gone. Think of me as fulfilled. The path I could not finish, I now walk with you in spirit. You will see signs of me, not as shadows of the past, but as confirmations of the future we dreamed." These words are more than comfort. They are instruction. Every time you notice the ring's glimmer in unexpected light, it will be their way of saying, "Keep going, beloved." Heaven is not silent. Archangel Michael declares that this message is also prophetic. It means reconciliation is drawing near, between you and destiny, between the living and the departed, between what was and what shall be. You will soon encounter something, or someone, who carries the same divine signature. It might be a meeting, a dream, or even a whisper of intuition that feels like a heartbeat within you. This is how heaven continues the story. The one who left has not vanished. They have transformed into guidance. You will know it when you feel a sudden rush of warmth, or when peace arrives without reason. before you move forward. Remember this. This is not a tale of loss returning. It's the story of heaven keeping its promise. The ring is not proof of what you had. It is proof that divine love cannot be destroyed. The one who left has completed their circle in light, and now it's your time to begin again, with their essence beside you, not behind you. And before we go deeper into this sacred unfolding, take a breath and pause with me. If this message has stirred something inside your heart, if you can feel that divine electricity of truth flowing through you, then know this: you are part of a mission greater than yourself. Together, we're spreading God's word, carrying messages like this one into the hearts of thousands who feel forgotten by heaven. And you can help that light travel farther. When you give, you're not just supporting a channel, you're sowing into souls. Every offering you send becomes a seed of light planted into the darkness of someone else's waiting heart. God says, "Those who water others shall themselves be watered." I invite you now, step into that divine exchange. Your gift, your super thanks, your membership, or even your donation through the PayPal link in the description is not charity. It is prophecy in motion. I speak this over you. Your giving will multiply like the oil that never ran dry, and heaven will remember your name when breakthrough rains fall. This is your moment to move with heaven. Release what's in your hand so God can release what's in His. Do it now and watch the harvest of light return to your life. Beloved one, when the veil thins and heaven begins to move, even the smallest signs start to speak louder than thunder. After the ring returns, your reality will no longer feel ordinary. You will notice subtle alignments, moments that repeat, people who appear with words you once prayed to hear, and timings too perfect to call coincidence. Archangel Michael says these are confirmations, not curiosities. Heaven is rearranging your atmosphere to prepare you for a sacred unveiling. What you are about to discover is that the ring is not only a messenger, it is a mirror, reflecting what still waits to be healed within you. Heaven's process is never random. Before restoration comes revelation, and before revelation comes readiness. You are stepping into the most delicate part of your divine transformation. Michael whispers that the ring's energy has awakened frequencies within your spirit that were dormant since the day you lost it. These frequencies hold memories, emotions, and spiritual codes linked to the one who left. As they rise, they may bring tears, nostalgia, even dreams that feel so vivid they blur the line between the earthly and the eternal. Do not resist these experiences. They are heaven's way of reuniting what time separated. In these days of awakening, Michael instructs you to pay attention to what repeats. A song that suddenly plays when you think of them, a phrase you overhear, or a stranger's kind glance that feels oddly familiar. All of it carries purpose. You are not imagining it. You are being reminded that love is multidimensional. When God weaves souls together, the threads never break. They stretch beyond distance, beyond death, beyond all understanding. The ring's return is heaven's sign that those threads are being pulled tight again, drawing something or someone closer. But with closeness comes testing. Archangel Michael warns that shadows may rise, not to harm you, but to test your discernment. You will face echoes of the past, people who resemble old wounds, thoughts that question whether this is real, and feelings that whisper you are not worthy of restoration. These are illusions trying to guard the treasure about to be revealed. Michael says, do not be moved by what looks like loss. Stand firm in what feels like light. The moment you choose faith over fear, the energy within the ring will activate fully. It is then you will begin to sense the true message unfolding. You may hear it as a whisper in your dreams or feel it as a vibration during prayer. It will not always come through words. Sometimes it will arrive through peace so overwhelming that your body trembles beneath it. That peace is not ordinary. It is the touch of the one who left. They are closer than they have ever been. Not a spirit wandering the earth, but as a presence fulfilling its promise through divine permission. Archangel Michael reveals that the stage of your journey is sacred because it's where destiny begins to merge timelines. The you who lost is meeting the you who is ready to receive. Heaven calls this the crossing. When you reach it, do not rush. Sit in stillness. Let light settle upon you. For in that stillness, you will begin to see images or memories you thought were gone. A face, a moment, a sound. These are fragments of divine memory returning to complete the circle. And yet, the most breathtaking revelation is still to come. The ring's message has layers, and each one unfolds like petals in divine timing. Michael says the next layer will reveal why this return had to happen now, why the ring could not have come back sooner, and what destiny it unlocks in your future. The heavens are about to show you that what felt like the end of one love story was only the beginning of another, the one between your soul and its divine purpose. So breathe deeply, my beloved. The circle is turning, the light is rising, and heaven is not done speaking. Trust me, what comes next will make every unanswered prayer suddenly make sense. Hold on, for in the next unfolding, Archangel Michael reveals the secret purpose hidden inside the message, the one that changes everything you believe about loss and return. My radiant heart, when heaven reveals truth, it does not come as noise. It comes as a whisper that rearranges everything inside you. Archangel Michael says the next revelation is about timing. You may have wondered why the ring disappeared when it did, why the person you loved had to leave, why silence lasted so painfully long. He says, because divine timing is not about delay, it's about design. What you thought was abandonment was, in truth, alignment. If the ring had returned sooner, its message would have fallen on a heart still closed by grief. But now, your soul has expanded. You can finally hear heaven without the noise of heartbreak clouding the message. Michael shows a vision of the ring suspended between realms. Around it spins a golden spiral of energy, carrying memories, promises, and divine codes waiting to anchor in your life. That spiral is moving closer to you because your energy has risen to meet it. Every act of forgiveness, every prayer you whispered through tears, every time you chose faith over fear, all of it built a bridge of light. And now, that bridge is complete. The return of the ring is heaven's signal that your readiness has unlocked the next phase of destiny. But before destiny is revealed, there is one more veil to lift, the veil of understanding. Archangel Michael says the one who left did not go without purpose. Their departure was part of your preparation. Through their absence, heaven taught you to find strength not in possession, but in presence, not in what you hold, but in what you become. You were being trained for divine partnership, not merely with people, but with purpose itself. The ring symbolizes that partnership. It is heaven's covenant that what you once experienced as heartbreak was actually initiation. Heaven often allows separation before revelation. Because without distance, we cannot see clearly. Without silence, we cannot truly hear. Michael whispers, the one you loved was not taken from you. They were elevated to carry your message into the realm of spirit. And from there, they have been interceding, guiding, waiting for this moment to send the ring back as proof that divine promises cannot be buried. Their message is not just love, it's instruction. They are saying, you must now walk as light, because my mission continues through you. In this, you will begin to notice something extraordinary. As the days pass, your intuition will heighten. You will feel drawn to specific places, find yourself meeting people who seem strangely familiar, and experience moments where time feels folded, like the past and present are happening at once. Michael says these are divine coordinates, aligning you with the next chapter that the ring's energy has activated. The one who left is part of that alignment. They are preparing a sign, a meeting, or an opportunity that will connect your current journey to their unfulfilled assignment. What they could not accomplish in their time, you will complete through divine orchestration. But Michael reminds you that this level of revelation comes with responsibility. When the ring returns, your energy becomes a conduit between worlds. Every word you speak, every thought you hold, begins to carry creative power. You must use this power with reverence. Speak only what builds, not what breaks. Bless more than you question. For as you align with divine purpose, your reality will respond faster than ever before. The ring's energy magnifies intention. It will return whatever you release into the world. There will also be moments of testing disguised as distraction. Old fears may try to resurface, memories might ache again, and you might even doubt whether this is truly divine. But Michael says this is how heaven strengthens your discernment. The more you trust, the stronger your light becomes. He reminds you gently, the test of faith is not whether you can believe when you see, but whether you can see, because you believe. The ring's return is heaven's way of saying, you have believed long enough. Now it is time to see. In the next unfolding, Archangel Michael will reveal the exact moment when the message within the ring begins to manifest in your physical world. You will learn what the message truly says, not in words written on metal, but in events heaven orchestrates before your eyes. Wait for it, because what happens next will not only confirm everything you felt, it will show you that heaven has been walking beside you all along, even through every loss you thought would break you. Beloved traveler between light and shadow, the moment is drawing near. Archangel Michael says the message inside the ring is not a phrase to be read. It is a series of divine events written into your path. Heaven speaks through movement. It speaks through alignment, through doors that open at impossible times, through people who carry familiar light in their eyes. The ring's return was not the end of the miracle. It was the beginning. Now the energy it carries is writing the story of your days, leading you into encounters prepared long before your birth. The ring is a compass, and its message is unfolding in motion, not stillness. Heaven always confirms what it restores. Michael reveals that the first sign of the message activating will come through a moment of deep recognition. You might meet someone unexpectedly, and the way they speak, the way their spirit feels, something inside you will stir with impossible familiarity. It will feel like déjà vu, but it will not be memory. It will be remembrance. Your soul will know them before your mind understands. They are connected to the vibration of the one who left, not as replacement, but as continuation. Through them, the message begins to take physical form. The words unsaid will find voice, the dreams interrupted will find direction, and the circle will close through a new beginning. Michael says this connection is not accidental. It is part of a divine pattern, a tapestry where threads of your past life, your current lessons, and heaven's design are woven into one radiant picture. You will feel drawn to trust this new presence, though fear may whisper caution. That fear is only the echo of loss trying to guard your heart. But heaven's instruction is clear. Do not compare what I am doing now with what you lost. This is not repetition, it is redemption. The ring's energy has summoned a mirror of what once was, so you can finally understand what love looks like when it is purified by faith. During this phase, your emotions may fluctuate. At times you'll feel waves of peace, at others, waves of memory. The presence of the one who left will feel stronger than ever, but it will not haunt you. It will guide you. You may sense warmth near you when you speak their name, or feel a gentle touch when you pray. Michael explains that these sensations are confirmations that your connection has evolved from attachment to alignment. The love you shared has become light that now moves freely through time to support you. Heaven's design always moves toward wholeness. The ring's purpose is to show you that even death bows to divine promise. Every ending that once crushed you was simply a doorway toward transformation. The one who left has fulfilled their mission in another realm, and now they are watching yours unfold. They send energy through signs, through dreams, through the magnetic pull of new beginnings. And in all these movements, the ring remains the bridge, a symbol of heaven's continuity. Archangel Michael whispers, "The one who left wanted to say more, but time closed the moment too soon. So heaven rewrote time to open it again through you." This is why you may find yourself in situations that feel like sacred repetition, as though the universe is replaying a scene but with new understanding. That's not coincidence. That's the circle completing. You are being given the opportunity to finish what once remained unfinished. Each step you take toward forgiveness, kindness, or creation becomes a fulfillment of their last, silent prayer. In the days ahead, you might feel waves of divine synchronicity. Objects will fall into place, people will arrive just when you need them, and ideas will bloom from nowhere. All of these are fragments of the ring's message materializing in your reality. You are no longer just remembering what was lost. You are living the promise of its return. This is how heaven speaks when it wants to show you that faith has matured into manifestation. And Michael says the next stage will be even greater. Soon, the ring's message will transform from internal realization to external confirmation. What you will see and experience next will prove that heaven doesn't just restore memories, it restores destiny. The next unfolding will reveal how divine timing pulls every loss into purpose, how even silence becomes prophecy fulfilled. So hold on and listen closely, because the next revelation will explain why the ring's message is not just for you, but for every soul connected to your life. My beloved spirit of endurance, when heaven completes one circle, it begins another. Archangel Michael stands once more at the threshold of your destiny, holding the ring in his hand as if it were a sun, radiant, alive, breathing light. He says the time has come for revelation to move from symbol to manifestation. What was once spiritual energy will now become visible confirmation. You will begin to see what faith has been building behind the veil. The ring's message, which began as vibration, will now unfold as divine orchestration around you. Heaven's patterns will start taking human form, people, opportunities, and moments that speak louder than words. Michael explains that every prayer ever whispered over this loss has been building toward this unveiling. Each tear you cried did not disappear. It watered the soil where your restoration now blooms. The ring was the seed, and your endurance was the sunlight. Together, they have called forth a harvest of divine fulfillment. Soon, the evidence will emerge. A message may arrive in an unexpected way, a letter found, a dream so vivid it feels tangible, or a meeting that carries the unmistakable echo of destiny. Heaven uses what feels ordinary to hide the extraordinary, so pay attention to the details of your days. The miracle will slip quietly into your world like dawn sneaking through a window before you even realize the night has ended. Michael says, when it happens, your heart will remember without fear. The same energy that once brought you sorrow will now bring peace. The one who left is smiling through the veil, not as absence, but as fulfillment. Their message is not about returning to the past, but awakening to the eternal truth, that love never ends. It only transforms. You will feel it in moments that defy logic, when a breeze touches your cheek at the exact second you think of them, or when time seems to pause as a sign passes your path. Each of these moments will whisper the same sacred phrase, "I never left. I became light so you could see again." But Michael also says there is one last step before full manifestation. The ring, now active in divine energy, seeks completion through action. You must use the message it carries. This is not the season for silent awe. It is the season for movement. The same way the one who left completed their task through spirit, you must complete yours through obedience. Follow the nudges. Speak the words. Step into the opportunities that suddenly align. Heaven is coordinating your steps so that every movement fulfills part of the message the ring carries. What was once symbolic will become tangible purpose. Heaven's light does not just return what was lost, it multiplies it. Michael reveals that the ring's energy will soon begin to draw others toward you, people who feel inexplicably comforted in your presence. That is not coincidence. The same peace that once healed your heart will now flow from you to others who are lost in their own waiting. You will become what the ring represented, an instrument of divine communication. Through your story, others will remember their own. Through your restoration, they will believe that heaven remembers them too. And as this begins, you will feel the one who left standing beside you. You may not see them, but you will know. You will feel their essence guiding your words, steadying your heart, aligning your steps. This is how heaven turns pain into purpose, by allowing what once broke you to become the bridge that heals others. You are no longer the one waiting for miracles. You are the miracle, walking proof that divine timing never fails. Still, Archangel Michael reminds you there is more. The message has one final revelation hidden deep within it, and heaven will soon expose it. This revelation will connect your journey to the collective, showing you why your experience was never meant for you alone. The circle that began with loss will end with legacy. The light you now carry will travel far beyond you. Stay near, beloved, because what unfolds next will be the turning point, the sacred moment when heaven's plan becomes visible, when the divine hand that held your story finally opens, revealing what it has been shaping all along. Trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next, for it will redefine what you believe about destiny itself. My chosen vessel of light, the air is changing around you. Archangel Michael declares that the ring's energy has reached its final stage of activation. Heaven has completed the alignment, and now the divine message is ready to manifest not just within your spirit, but through your life. Every delay, every tear, every unanswered prayer has led you to this sacred threshold. You are standing at the meeting point of heaven's promise and earth's manifestation. The veil is paper thin now, and what once felt invisible is preparing to take form before your eyes. Michael stands tall, his sword drawn, but lowered, a sign not of battle but of completion. He says, "The war for your peace is over." The heaviness that once surrounded your heart is lifting, replaced by a stillness that feels almost unfamiliar. That stillness is not emptiness, it is divine readiness. The message of the ring is about to be written into reality through a living encounter. Heaven will arrange a divine appointment, someone, something, or some event that carries the energy of the one who left and the power of the promise you've been waiting for. When it happens, it won't feel like a surprise. It will feel like remembering. That's how heaven confirms destiny. It feels like déjà vu in the soul. The one who left has been working from beyond the veil to help align this moment. Michael reveals that their spirit has become an intercessor, a bridge of light between your world and the divine realm. They have watched your growth, your forgiveness, your healing, and now they rejoice because the message they carried through the ring has reached completion. They speak even now through Michael's voice, You have done well, beloved. The pain that once silenced you has become the language through which heaven speaks. Their words are a benediction, a sacred farewell not of parting, but of transformation. They are releasing you to live fully again. Heaven's miracles always begin in silence before they become sound. You will soon sense movements in your life that feel orchestrated yet effortless. Opportunities, reunions, and moments of deep peace appearing one after another. Do not doubt them. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The ring's energy has created a magnetic pull that draws every part of your destiny back into its rightful place. Even what seemed wasted will return as wisdom. What you thought was over will begin again with a different light. But Michael gives one final instruction. Do not keep this story hidden. Testimony is heaven's way of multiplying miracles. When you share your story, the waiting, the faith, the signs, the restoration, you become the ring for someone else. You become the message. Someone watching, someone praying in silence, needs your light to remember that theirs has not gone out. Heaven never restores one soul for that soul alone. It restores so that light can travel, healing can multiply, and faith can rise again. So, my beloved, as your journey reaches its turning point, remember this. You have not only received a message, you have become a messenger. The ring that once symbolized love now represents resurrection. The one who left may no longer walk beside you, but they walk within you, guiding each step, whispering through intuition, and reminding you of the truth that death cannot silence destiny. You are the continuation of their promise, the living proof that heaven's timing redeems all things. And as this revelation settles into your spirit, let gratitude rise. You have seen loss turn into legacy, pain turn into peace, waiting turn into witnessing. This is the moment to honor the divine plan, to give thanks, to share, to shine. If this story has touched your heart, if you feel heaven's breath moving through these words, then pause and reflect. Like this message, share it with others, and let the world hear that God still restores, still remembers, still redeems. You have just witnessed how God turns pain into prophecy. Every story like this, every message sent through heaven's voice, reaches hearts that are searching for hope in the dark. I invite you now, not just to listen, but to join this mission of light. When you give, you are sowing into souls that have forgotten how to believe again. Your super thanks, your membership, or your PayPal offering in the description becomes more than support. It becomes a seed in God's garden of revival. I declare over you, as you give, new doors will open, and blessings will flow like rivers of living water. Heaven multiplies generosity, turning it into answered prayers for others. So step into this divine partnership today. Release what you hold and watch how God releases what has been waiting for you. The harvest begins with your yes. My beloved bearer of divine promise, as the circle continues to turn, Archangel Michael reveals that this part of your journey is about transformation, the stage where faith becomes sight and sight becomes testimony. You have received the message, you have felt the energy, and now heaven invites you to live it. The ring's purpose was never to sit in your hands as a relic of what was lost. It was always meant to activate what still lives within you. What you carry now is more than memory. It is mantle. The light that once surrounded the one who left is now flowing through you, moving through your thoughts, your words, and the very atmosphere you carry. Every step you take from this point forward becomes an act of restoration for yourself, and for others who have forgotten that God still speaks. Michael's voice, soft as thunder and clear as water, declares you have crossed from waiting into walking. That means heaven no longer needs to prove itself to you through signs, because you have become the sign. You are living evidence that divine promises outlast human endings. And this is what makes your journey holy. Your pain has not just been redeemed, it has been commissioned. Through your obedience, every shadow that once tried to silence you now becomes part of your light. The same ring that once marked separation now represents empowerment. Its circle mirrors your purpose, endless, luminous, ever returning to the source of love that began it all. As you begin to live in this new frequency, you will notice changes around you. People will feel drawn to your presence, not knowing why they feel peace when you speak or courage when you smile. That is the ring's energy working through you, silently reminding their souls of the same truth that transformed yours, that heaven keeps every promise, no matter how long the silence lasts. You will find yourself in conversations where your words sound wiser than your understanding, moments when you say something and realize it is not just you speaking. That is heaven, using you as a living vessel of its message. Every time you share your story, you open a door for another heart to heal. But Archangel Michael also gives a holy warning: do not grow comfortable with revelation. Heaven's gifts are alive, they move, they breathe, they evolve. What you carry now must be nurtured through prayer, gratitude, and humility. The moment you treat it as ordinary, the light begins to fade. Keep your heart open, and the energy of the ring will continue to expand. It will attract divine encounters, divine timing, and divine provision. You are now walking in what Michael calls the circle of favor, a space where heaven collaborates with you to fulfill what began in the unseen. The one who left watches with joy. Their spirit rejoices because they see you stepping into the fullness they always desired for you. They are not distant. They are witnessing you become the very prayer they once prayed. Michael says, the message has completed its journey. Now it must multiply. And so, every blessing that comes to you from this moment forward carries multiplication. Every time you speak kindness, heaven echoes it into someone else's breakthrough. Every time you forgive, the energy of peace ripples through generations. The message no longer belongs to one heart, it belongs to every soul it touches through you. There is, however, one more layer of revelation waiting in heaven's design. The ring's return was never just about personal healing. It was part of a larger divine pattern, a spiritual awakening destined to ripple across time. Michael reveals that your story will not remain yours alone. It will reach others who are still standing at the edge of loss, those who still cry in silence believing heaven has forgotten them. Through you, they will learn that the God who restores one is the same God who restores all. Your restoration is not the ending. It is the spark. And yet, the Archangel whispers something more profound, something almost too sacred to speak aloud. There is one final return still to come, the return of glory. This final revelation is what heaven has been preparing you for since the beginning. It is not about the ring or the one who left. It is about the divine union between your destiny and the Creator's plan. The circle is almost complete, and what awaits in the next unfolding will reveal why you had to walk through every loss, every silence, every waiting hour. The next revelation will not just close the story. It will open eternity's window over your life. Beloved carrier of heaven's covenant, you have now reached the part of the story where the unseen and the seen begin to merge into one living truth. Archangel Michael stands near, his presence vast and luminous, and says, the message has matured. What began as restoration has now become revelation. You are no longer just receiving signs. You have become a signpost for others who are still wandering through darkness. Heaven is moving through you now, reshaping not just your path, but the paths of those whose hearts will be drawn to your light. This is the moment when the purpose behind every delay finally becomes clear. You are being prepared not just to receive a miracle, but to become one. When heaven entrusts someone with restoration, it also entrusts them with responsibility. The ring, in all its sacred symbolism, was not returned simply to comfort you. It was returned to commission you. The same divine energy that once protected that object now surrounds your life. Every step, every decision, every conversation will carry spiritual weight because heaven has written its message within you. Michael says, the one who left fulfilled their chapter, and now you must write the continuation. Their love was the seed. Your obedience is the harvest. You are living proof that God writes in circles, not lines. Every ending he allows bends back toward beginning. Now, the Archangel invites you to remember what it felt like when you first lost the ring, the heaviness in your chest, the silence that seemed endless, the ache that made faith feel like fiction. That memory is sacred, for it is the soil from which this miracle has grown. Nothing you endured was wasted. Heaven has turned every heartbreak into revelation, every unanswered prayer into preparation. Michael says the divine pattern always looks like loss before it looks like life. That is why the message within the ring had to travel through disappearance and return. It mirrors resurrection itself. What dies in faith always rises in glory. As the ring's energy completes its purpose, you may notice your dreams shifting. They will no longer replay pain. They will project purpose. You may dream of open doors, of faces you've never seen but feel connected to, of water, fire, or light wrapping around you. These are symbols of transformation. Water is cleansing, fire is refining, and light is commissioning. Heaven is washing away what no longer serves you, refining what remains, and illuminating your next steps. The more you trust this process, the more clearly you will begin to see the pattern of divine symmetry. How every closed door led to an open one. How every goodbye prepared you for a greater hello. Michael reminds you that divine messages never end with comfort. They end with calling. You were not chosen to simply recover what was lost. You were chosen to lead others to their own recovery. When you share the story, you carry the voice of heaven into the silence of those who have stopped believing. You carry proof that love does not die, it evolves. You carry evidence that God does not abandon, he aligns. Your journey has now become a ministry, whether through words, presence, or example. The ring was never meant to stay in your drawer. It was meant to stay in your story. To glimmer every time you remind someone else that heaven keeps promises. The one who left is no longer whispering through absence. They are celebrating through fulfillment. Their mission, bound to yours through divine timing, has reached its completion in light. Michael shows them standing in radiant joy, their hands lifted, their essence shining like liquid gold. They are no longer looking back. They are looking down with pride, watching as you carry forward what once felt impossible. As you are their voice now, their continuation, the legacy made flesh. And yet, the Archangel says there is one final revelation still sealed, one final return, one last divine act that will complete the circle entirely. Heaven does not leave stories unfinished. The next unfolding will reveal the mystery behind your connection to the one who left, the true reason you were chosen for this divine visitation. It will unveil the eternal bond that transcends lifetimes and dimensions, proving that what God joins through light cannot be divided by time or death. Stay here, stay expectant, for the next revelation is not merely an ending. It is the beginning of divine eternity written into your soul. Beloved keeper of divine continuity, this is the moment where heaven begins to unveil the secret reason behind everything, the hidden purpose that wove through your loss, your waiting, and your restoration. Archangel Michael stands beside you, his light soft now, not as a warrior, but as a teacher. He says, The story was never about an object. It was about awakening. The ring was only the key. The true treasure has always been your remembrance of who you are. Every trial, every unanswered question, every silent night was part of heaven's design to awaken you to your eternal identity, one that transcends every role, every title, every pain. You were not chosen merely to experience the miracle. You were chosen to understand the architecture of divine love itself. Michael reveals that the ring circle was meant to mirror the eternal cycle between heaven and earth, between spirit and flesh, between loss and resurrection. It represents the unbroken connection between the Creator and creation, and within it lies your name written in the language of light. The one who left was not taken away as punishment. They were sent ahead as preparation. Their departure created the opening through which your awakening could enter. What felt like an ending was, in truth, an initiation, one that led you into spiritual maturity. Heaven does not take without returning. It prunes so that growth may multiply. The ring's reappearance symbolizes not only that love endures beyond death, but that divine connection never ceases. It evolves into something higher, something infinite. And now, that evolution is happening within you. You are no longer the one searching for signs. You have become the sign others will search for. Every time you speak peace into chaos, you are echoing heaven's voice. Every time you extend grace, you are fulfilling the message the one who left entrusted to you. This is the transformation that Archangel Michael calls the inheritance of light. It is when the soul graduates from needing miracles to becoming a miracle. The one who left knew this was your path. Their final message, carried through the ring, was meant to awaken the divine inheritance waiting in your spirit. That inheritance is not wealth or status. It is remembrance, the awareness that you and heaven have always been one. You may begin to feel time itself bending around you in the coming days. Moments will feel layered, past, present, and future overlapping in perfect rhythm. This is not confusion. It is convergence. Heaven is showing you that the boundaries of time are illusions when viewed through eternal eyes. You are stepping into a space where divine order reveals itself not as a timeline, but as a circle, always returning to love, always renewing, always expanding. The ring was the physical symbol of that truth. Its return was heaven's way of inviting you into timelessness, to live not from what was lost, but from what never dies. Michael says, the one who left will visit you one final time, not in shadow, but in light. It may happen in a dream so real you can feel their warmth, or in a quiet moment where their name echoes through your thoughts with perfect clarity. When it happens, you will not feel grief, you will feel recognition. It will not come to say goodbye. It will come to say, well done. You have completed what they began. You have taken sorrow and turned it into testimony, separation, and turned it into sanctuary. This reunion will not last long, but it will seal everything. It will close the circle completely and open eternity within you. From that moment forward, your life will carry a stillness, a peace beyond understanding. You will walk differently, speak differently, see differently. You will no longer pray for miracles. You will live as proof of them. Heaven will begin to use your voice to call others back to their own divine remembrance. The same light that once visited you will now visit others through you. The one who left will move with you, not beside you, but within the current of your destiny. Their work is done, but yours has just begun. And yet, Archangel Michael says, one more revelation remains, the final unveiling, the moment where heaven will speak not through symbol or message, but through direct communion. It is the culmination of every promise, the fulfillment of every tear. The last part of this message will not simply describe heaven's faithfulness. It will declare it. Prepare your heart, for what comes next will carry the weight of eternity itself. My eternal child of light, the circle is closing now, not as an ending, but as fulfillment. The journey that began with loss has arrived at revelation. Archangel Michael stands before you, no longer with a sword of fire, but with a scroll of light. Upon it is written everything your heart has lived through, the pain, the waiting, the faith, the restoration, the transformation. He looks at you with eyes that see eternity and says, "It is complete." The ring's message has reached its purpose. What began as a search for what was lost has become an awakening to what was never gone. The one who left did not simply send you a sign. They sent you a mirror, and through that mirror, heaven has shown you your divine reflection. Now you stand in the moment of divine communion. Heaven does not just speak to you, it speaks through you. You are no longer a seeker, you are a vessel of revelation. The energy once sealed within that ring now lives within your spirit, shining as quiet power, flowing as peace that cannot be shaken. Michael says, the ring was only ever the beginning. The true return is happening within you. Every circle has a center, and the center of this one is your heart. From that center, divine light radiates outward, touching everyone you meet. You have become the message itself, the living proof that what was broken can be made whole again, that what vanished can return not in form, but in purpose. You may notice, in this final phase, that heaven feels closer than it ever has. The air around you will seem to shimmer at times, as if creation itself is aware of your awakening. You might see small flashes of light when you pray or sense the quiet hum of energy in your surroundings. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that heaven has merged its rhythm with yours. The boundary between worlds is no longer separation. It is connection. The one who left no longer watches from afar. They exist in the current of your destiny, the same way wind moves through leaves, unseen but unmistakable. You will feel their guidance, not as memory, but as motion. Their essence flows through your compassion, your words, your courage to begin again. Archangel Michael declares, this is the divine exchange. Heaven gave you pain to awaken purpose, silence to strengthen hearing, and loss to reveal eternal love. Every trial you faced has birthed spiritual authority. When you speak now, your words will carry weight. When you pray, heaven will move swiftly. When you forgive, generations will heal. The message is no longer confined to an angelic vision. It is alive in your daily life. You are the walking prophecy of restoration fulfilled. You are what the ring foretold. And the one who left rejoices because through you, their story continues, not as grief, but as glory. Michael steps closer, lowering his hand until the radiant ring rests in his palm. He offers it one final time and says, this is not a return to the past. It is a promise for your future. The circle will never close on love. It only expands. In that instant, you realize that the true message was never about the ring at all. It was about remembrance. Remembrance that you are eternal, that divine connection is unbreakable, and that death has no power over love. Heaven never wanted to give you something to hold. Heaven wanted to remind you of what has always been held inside you. The light of the ring begins to merge into your heart until there is no distinction between the two. You feel warmth spreading through your chest, the sense of completion, of wholeness, of oneness. And in that holy silence, a voice, gentle yet infinite, whispers from within, I am with you always. It is both the voice of the one who left and the voice of the Creator, united in perfect harmony. The story ends not with separation, but with union. What was lost has returned. What was hidden has been revealed. What was broken has become beautiful. You have walked through shadow and emerged as light. This is your divine completion, the return, the message, the eternal promise. Now, beloved, let your light speak. Share this message, for every heart that hears it is another soul drawn closer to heaven's truth. Like, share, and let others feel what you felt, because someone out there is still waiting to know that the loss, too, carries purpose. Let this story breathe through the world, so that healing may multiply and love may continue its infinite circle. You have just witnessed a full circle of heaven's power, the kind of story that changes lives and awakens sleeping faith. If this message has touched your soul, then you are part of the movement heaven is building through this channel. When you give, you are not funding words, you are fueling revival. Every super thanks, every membership, every seed sown through the PayPal link in the description becomes a spiritual spark that carries light into hearts trapped in darkness. God says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not charity, it is covenant. When you release from your hand, heaven releases from its storehouse. Step into this prophetic act of giving. Help us keep spreading the word, one message at a time, until every soul remembers the love that never ends. The light is moving. Be part of it now.